As you probably know, I'm a huge Zelda fan. One of my favorite games in the series has always been Twilight Princess. It was the game that introduced me to the series. I would play in my grandma's basement on my uncle's GameCube. One of my favorite dungeons in that game was always Snow Peak, not because I like the puzzles or anything, but I just love the atmosphere and just the idea of it, that you're not actually in a dungeon, you're just in this really confusing mansion that belongs to the Abominable Snowman. And you gotta help him make soup to cure his wife's illness, and his wife is the final boss. It's just, I love the creativity in that dungeon. And I gotta say, that is some good looking soup in the game. Little did I know that when Twilight Princess HD was released, Nintendo released the recipe for that soup. So, let's make it. The first thing we're supposed to do is melt 2 tablespoons of butter on over medium heat. So let's get started on that now. Just melt it up in there. Now, once the butter's melted, we're also supposed to add 2 cloves of garlic, except I do not own a garlic press. So, instead we're just gonna, I looked up how much garlic salt would be the equivalent, and apparently it's 1/8 of a tablespoon, or 1/8 of a teaspoon of powdered garlic is equal to 1 small clove. So that's what we're going to do. Perfection! Now we'll add the garlic powder. Yeah. Stir it in there. Aha, perfection! This is how cooking happens. Alright. Now what's next? I forgot. I'll check back when I know. It's the carrots' turn. Time to cut the carrots. Hello, we're doing onions now. I was doing carrots. I cut a little less than I should have because I don't like vegetables that much, but hey, we'll still add them. But my carrot footage got kind of corrupted. I don't know how much of it got corrupted, but we're doing onions now, okay? Time to add 1 quart of vegetable broth, and oh geez, I might have waited too long on this. Whoa! Man, smoky. Dang, that's bad. Oh, jeez! I'm gonna fix this. Okay, it's smoky in here. I'm going to redo that part. And clear out of this place out. Did the smoke alarms not work in here? Okay, I redid the butter and garlic. Now we gotta quickly add the vegetables. Saute them. There we go. Stir in the veggies. We're supposed to saute for 5 minutes. Okay, now it's time for the broth, and this is going to be hopefully much better than last time. There we go. It says 1 quart, so this whole thing. Yeah. Brothy. You gotta use vegetable broth, not chicken broth, not beef broth, not pumpkin broth, because that's not a thing. Vegetable broth. There we go. That went a whole lot better than the last attempt. I will clean that up. Now we just gotta bring it to a boil, stirring occasionally. That's easy, right? Hopefully I can't mess this up. Right? I can't mess this up. I found the can opener, and that's good because it's time to put in the pumpkin. And the cinnamon. I'll get to that when I get to that. Okay, it's been a while since I used this can opener.
That's the way it goes, alright. I'm sorry, I got to start working on cleaning out that pot that I messed up, dude.
Stuff cleaned up, but I'm ready for some soup. There we go. Now for the pumpkin and the cinnamon. Alright, pumpkin. Somehow. Yay. Cinnamon. It says 1/4 a teaspoon. I don't have any way of taking that cap off, so there. Cinnamon. That is more than 1/4 a teaspoon, but hey, I like cinnamon. Guys, look at this. It's so good. The lighting isn't as good on my camera, but trust me, it looks and smells so good. It's almost time for the next step. Now what the next step is it says to put the soup in a blender. So I have one, and it says to do it bit by bit because obviously you can't fit all the soup into your blender. But that's a weird step, isn't it? I mean, I guess we're getting all the vegetables just blended up. Normal soups just have the vegetables floating in it though, but I'll follow the recipe and do what it says. And we don't have a huge blender, so this will take a while. Here we go with the first batch. I am nervous. How does this work? First batch. Woo! I hope hot things can go in this blender okay. There we go. Oh, it's hot. Let's get the second batch going. Second batch. Alright. There we go. All blended smooth with the veggies. Let's make sure we get everything in there. I'm not wasting any of this delicious pumpkin soup. You know, how did the Yeti in the game in Twilight Princess do this step? Because I ain't never seen a blender in Zelda. Now the last step is to let it simmer on low while we stir in the remaining ingredients, from it being 4 ounces of goat cheese. By the way, it didn't specify what kind of goat cheese, so I just got Cypress Grove Chevre Midnight Moon cheese. Hopefully it'll be fine. A can of evaporated milk and half a cup of half and half. A couple tablespoons of brown sugar and some black pepper. I'll find that in a minute. So, I'm supposed to crumble the goat cheese up? Let's figure this out together. Alright, I guess I'd take off this little wax shell. I've never had fancy cheese before. It's always just like a pre-shredded bag cheese. It's weird. Don't want this coat. There we go. We're getting it off. Don't want this weird coat, I don't think. How does it taste? It's alright. Alright, we have successfully crumbled up the goat cheese into little tiny crumbles. That cheese was $6.25, so hopefully it's good. This better work, otherwise I'm out $6. Right, here we go with the evaporated milk. Kinda made a mess. Ooh, be careful. Just pour that in. Yeah. Stir it up. Oh man, this smells so good. Look at it. Oh, look at that. Nice and clean. Smells so good. Smells like Christmas. Should have made this during December. Next is the half and half. There we go. Brown sugar. Plop. And finally, our goat cheese. Just sprinkle it in there. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. There. It's done, I think. We've got our goat cheese and pumpkin soup. Hot, 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 but very tasty. Very hot, but very tasty. Should have expected that considering I just pulled it off of the stove, but man, this stuff is good. I'd actually been sick last week. I wish I had this. It's delicious. I give my own cooking a 10 out of 10. 5 stars. No one could have done it better. All me. If you would like some goat cheese pumpkin soup of your own, it will cost you one pot. Let me think. Ingredients, labor. $20? Sure, we'll go with that.
25. Negotiable, alright? Contact me, and I will make you this magnificent goat cheese and pumpkin soup from Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. And it will be delicious. That's good.
Just so you know, the soup is not as good the next night. Do not refrigerate this. Do not try and store it, the leftovers, for later. Just eat it all the very first night if you can, because, yeah, it sucks after you refrigerate it.